Hi, it's me. I'm Shar, and today I'm going to be playing Honkai Star Rail. I was supposed to play this when it came out last year, but also I was kind of overwhelmed by adult responsibilities at that time. I was juggling a lot of work and personal issues, and I ended up developing this sort of gaming guilt. And I felt like if I played, I'd end up sinking so much time into it that I would have less time to work. Luckily, thanks to Hoyoverse, who suddenly sponsored me, I can play and make this video while feeling very swag and very guilt-free. I can game as a little treat. I think it's fine. I'm a bit excited since I also haven't really spoiled anything about the game to myself yet. All I know is that there's a train, and it's a turn-based strategy game, and there's a guy named Dr. Ratio or something. So this is more or less going to be a little retelling of my first 10 hours of playing the game, but hopefully entertaining and hopefully digestible. So you can think of this as just me hanging out on Discord, streaming the game to you on your other monitor. Anyway, like every other online game I've ever played, my first enemy was the login screen and my inability to remember my username and password. What was my... I hope it's the right password. Yes? Oh yeah, I am so good at this. Whee! Oh, nice ship.
Give me evacuation quickly!
Everything's going crazy and she's just like air violining, and that's the kind of mentality I want to have. This is Kafka. I don't know who she is quite yet, but we play the prologue as her. This is the character my friend really likes, because when she came out, he kept saying Kafka mommy, or something like that.
Why would it matter?
Wow. Battle start. Okay. Use basic attack on selected enemy. Okay. Ow, ow, don't hit me. Why are we fighting? They're like the mean girls.
Who's this?
No idea.
Okay. I walk around a bit to find Silverwolf, Kafka's tech-savvy colleague.
Send it, Silverwolf.
Oh my god, her name's Silverwolf. Oh! And we punch a couple more guys.
We're the ones getting ambushed.
But they're the ones getting besieged.
I'm going to besiege you.
Time to say bye. Boom.
Something hacking the mainframe. There's a lot of words I don't understand yet, but what I get is they're trying to contain something called a stellaron, which is also known as the cancer of all worlds in this unit. Oh, is that me? Am I the cancer of all worlds? I'm gonna name her Duty. So Duty is a stellaron receptacle.
From now on, you needn't think about your past or doubt yourself.
Thank you. And Kafka goes to buy milk, and she never comes back for me.
March, you better do CPR.
Huh? I've never done it before. Don Hung, you do it.
No!
Wait, stop it! They're awake! I'm sure you can at least remember your name.
My name is Duty. This is March 7th, and this is Tanhang, and they live on a nomadic space train full of special little guys like Duty. A bat. Thank you. That's just what I needed. I love violence! I love violence! I love violence! I love violence. It's nice. Oh my god, a ball. When I see a ball, I hit it with a bat.
Take this!
Hell yeah. Brute force always works. Duty calls. Oh shit. Duty is a powerful character. You bet. Okay, but as a side note, I actually like this entire tutorial section. Games with mechanics like this can easily get confusing and overwhelming for me, but they slowly made each mechanic accessible as you went on. I was always kind of worried seeing my friends play this game because they were so fast and I couldn't understand what they were doing. And I felt like I'd be bad at the game since it wasn't my usual genre. Stop! Stop!
I have something for you.
But even I, a dumb little guy, was able to understand and find the gameplay pretty enjoyable in the end. At some point, I actually wished there were more monsters to fight so I could get that nice, ooh, I strategized feeling. Being able to do out-of-combat party buffs and attacks on enemies during exploration was pretty cool too. Anyway, going back to the story, I really like March 7th. We are best friends.
March hasn't been any trouble for you along the way, has she?
She's my bestie. March is my bestie. She's my favorite date. March 7th is my favorite date. And together we have to fight off the antimatter legion that's overtaking the spaceship. Also, I like the enemy designs a lot.
Move carefully.
Oh shit, look at him. Look at that guy. And after helping a bit around the spaceship, we end up needing to fight something called a planet destroyer. Maybe give me a break. I don't know. I just woke up 2 hours ago. I don't know what's going on. Oh my god. I don't know how I'm supposed to beat that. I only have a bat. This tutorial boss was pretty fun and a little challenging. Impending doom? Okay, no, don't do that. Do the finishing blow. Hell yeah! Okay, we did it! Good job, team! We fought the big guy. After finishing off the tutorial boss, I did some VR stuff with the spaceship head, Herta. And then I did my first couple of pulls. Okay, let's try the regular ones then. Oh, I got Arlen. He has a little dog, that's so cute. Huh. Oh, this is cute. Oh! Oh my gosh, I got the old man! I got the old man! Having literally no previous memories and a Stellaron inside her, Duty ends up getting adopted by the Astral Express, which is the train March 7th, Danhong, and all the other guys stay in.
I'm over here.
Little guy. This guy is Pom Pom, the train conductor.
Quit being a nuisance. Pom-Pom is working.
Yeah, that's me on a bad day too. Very cute and very puntable. Exploring the train further, I find out that Danhong lives in the library because he's a nerd, and that March likes to challenge momentum.
Turn to your seat.
What's she doing? Himeko is the mom that Kafka never was.
Oh, right. March and Don Hung should both be in
She's
their
my
rooms
mom.
right now. You can go look for them. You young.
Thanks, mom. And Welt is an old man who really likes to lore dump. We're a funny little space family, yay! Duty experiences her first warp on the train, but suddenly it had to stop due to a space anomaly where the gang was passing by. It's like a broken train track. Mission brief. This planet is Harilo 6 and it's about to die out due to an unexpected ice age. It has a Stellaron, like Duty, and we have to contain it to save the planet and get back on our way. Mom says it's my turn to trailblaze.
So it's still not our turn.
I know you really want to go, but we should give the youngsters a chance to get out there on their own.
Sorry, Welt. So March and Tanhung and Duty all go to Harilo 6 to sort the issue out. And we find this strange scammer guy.
Is crawling around in the snow a crime these days?
It's not, but it's pretty weird. Also, he's wanted by the police.
Help me, old friends! I don't want to be caught!
And now we're wanted by the police.
Outsiders, follow me.
Just kidding, we're cool. Or not? The city of Belobog is pretty steampunk and looks very warm despite the impending ice age. I explored a bit and befriended all the trash cans. Stop! Stop! I feel so cold out! It's shining! It's shining! I'm sorry. What is this? And also Gebhardt's sister. She gave me a puzzle. I like her. There's a lot of political stuff going on in the quest, with the city leader being kind of suspect. I think she's in cahoots with the Stellaron or something to destroy the world, but I haven't really gotten all the lore yet. But to summarize, I got arrested, unarrested, and I'm about to get rearrested. Now, I'm running away. I'm a criminal. You'll never catch me alive. Anyway, they caught me alive.
What is this?
I can't breathe.
I have one thing to say.
Oh my
Senpo
god, it's
never
the
lets friends who've
scammers.
helped him come to harm. I say what I mean, and I mean what I say.
And we enter the city's underworld, an impoverished, poorly governed mining town with no contact with the city's flourishing overworld. I do a couple quests here and there, babysit some kids,
Right? Now we're playing for real.
enter a fight club.
I can take them on my own, you know.
Sorry for embarrassing you. I just want to go home. Sigh. And do the only thing I can to help resolve society's issues. Violence.
Rules are made to be broken. You're welcome.
Our little team of weird siblings and overworld and underworld princesses who definitely aren't in love with each other, by the way.
You force yourself to.
Am I really supposed to be here? This feels like a moment for them.
The guardian of Belobog.
I'm just duty.
I should let those two be alone for a bit.
Eventually find the person we need to get out of the underworld. This big robot guy who protects the underworld and guards the entrance to the overworld named Svarog, and his little Red Riding Hood friend named Clara, who I really think should wear shoes because this is a dangerous environment for a child. Oh my god, wear some shoes, girl. Wear shoes. Please wear shoes. This place looks like you could step on like a rusty nail at any point. Also, at some point, I listened to an NPC rap for like an entire minute without a beat or music, and all I can say was that it was an experience.
Check it. Lighted the moon of a city of snow. Kid down below gazing up all alone.
Okay.
Silence, dismay. How do
I'm
they
a little
sense the vision
embarrassed.
of rage? Howl of the wind, silvery
How
light.
long
Hold on,
does this
insanity,
go?
fight to the- Another Belobog night.
Oh my god, there's a
the legends
hook.
can't hide. Yeah, yeah.
And this is around the time I hit 10 hours. I'm still playing through the main quest as we speak, and if you guys enjoyed this little yap session of mine, then I think it would be fun to make a follow-up video. You'd be encouraging me to game, and I'm not really opposed to that. Wrapping this up with some thoughts about the game so far, I initially thought this game would be hard to approach because it seemed like I needed to have the smarts to play it, but it was actually really approachable for my very average brain. And dare I say, even pretty fun. Getting the right combo made me feel so smart, and I like that the gameplay eventually feels comfortable but not too comfortable, if that makes any sense. There are fights that were a breeze, and fights that made me think really hard and made me really sweaty, but it was engaging and I still won in the end, so it's okay. I also want to comment that I really like that the player character is strong. I used Duty the whole time I was playing and didn't feel the need to replace her with a different team member at any point, which is a nice change of pace for a gacha game. It made me feel like she was really part of the story. Speaking of story, I need to confess that I'm more of a sword and sorcery type of person and I don't lore dive too hard into sci-fi media. But I appreciate how they paced the story and made things easier to understand as time went on. It's not all the time I get to feel like I sufficiently understand what's going on in a sci-fi game. The cutscenes and art and environment in general are really nice. It's a very pretty looking game. Dialogue can feel like it drags though. Everyone's a bit of a yapper. I like the planet-to-planet format of the game and how each planet seems to be a little stepping stone in your big quest to understand the role you play in this universe. And I really like March and Tanheng. I think they're funny in a corny bantery way I am a bit with my friends. Also, I think someone needs to teach Tanheng what clemency means.
Clemency? Never heard of it.
Clemency? I don't know that word.
What the f does that mean? Clemency? Oh!
Clemency? Never heard of it.
I don't know what a dictionary is.
Clemency?
What is that?
I'm gonna keep playing the game. The gameplay's actually kind of addicting and I like exploring the maps. And I like feeling smart when I beat the bad guys in a very swaggy way. I also want to know if I get to punch Bronya's mom, or if I get to eat the planet Stellaron whole or something. I've never really been told how we'd be containing it yet. I also have friends who are fans of the game, and I always enjoy talking and joking about the story and characters with the people I care about. Okay, and now for the actual sponsored part of the video, let me tell you a little bit about Honkai Star Rail's upcoming version 2.5. I've already spent the entire video showing you the game, but just to sum it up, it's a space fantasy RPG you can play on both your PC and your phone. It's won a lot of awards and has accumulated over 100 million downloads within the last year since its release. In this update, they're releasing 2 new characters, Fei Xiao and Ling Xia. Fei Xiao is a wind character following the path of the hunt, and also plays the role of Merlin's Claw, a renowned general and martial artist. As you can see, she is very, very strong, has gun blades, and also has big fluffy fox ears. Ling Xia is a fire character following the path of abundance. She's an incredible alchemist and healer, and has a personality as soothing as the incense she burns, which she can also use to burn enemies, by the way. I'm often nearly dead in this game, so I think she's a great pick if you're also often nearly dead. Some other fun things in the new version: a pet system, I love little guys, a free 16-pull login event, a self-select banner for character reruns, and a couple of new world events. If you're up to play, you can grab this code here on screen for 50 stellar jades. A warm thanks again to Honkai Star Rail for sponsoring this video. I'm always very grateful and very surprised to receive offers to yap about and play games I like or want to play. And I'm grateful to you too. If you got this far into the video, thank you. I hope you enjoyed me yapping your ear off and throwing drawings in your face. I've had a lot of things happen these past couple months, and making a game-focused video was a nice breather. I hope you have a great rest of your day today, wherever you are. Drink a lot of water. It's good for your skin. That's all. Bye.